the FSBS show.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm Brisco.
And I'm Ricardo.
And today we are doing a breakdown. It's a little bit late. I know it's long history at this point for a lot of people because we're already to the plateau of who's going to the World Series. Congratulations to the
Astros and the
Nats. So anyway, here we go. There's three main things that Ricardo and I wanted to point out in regards to this whole abysmal, horrible, embarrassing 4-game sweep of the National League Championship Series. There are a lot of things that Ricardo and I could probably break down, point out, scrutinize, pick apart. However, here I feel like this could have been the momentum that the Cardinals needed, Ricardo, and it was in the top of the 7th.
Yes.
Okay. How many runners we got on?
We got 2 on.
Okay, so we got 2 cards on. Do you remember who they were?
On second is
Cafe,
and on first is
Yachty. Our great catcher Yachty, who knows the game inside and out, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then we've got 1 out, and right at this point, we stopped the video right after Tommy Edman strikes out. So the next batter, as you can see on deck, is Paul DeJong. Paul DeJong has how many homers?
During the regular season, he has over 30.
Yeah, or was he at 30?
I think he's at 30.
So he's capable of hitting a home run.
Yeah, he is capable.
Anyway, so we're setting up the scenario here. We got Yachty on first, Jose Martinez, a.k.a. Cafe, on second. 1 out, top of the 7th. Washington leads the series right now, 2-0. Strasburg is up to 108 pitches at this point.
So
he's nearing his top pitch count for even the regular season.
Yes.
Which I believe was 116.
Oh.
Even if it's 120. He's not too far off from being done.
Yeah.
And we've got a runner in scoring position with Cafe.
Mm-hmm.
This is an opportunity to put some pressure on the Nationals and possibly swing the whole series back towards us, because at this point Washington was only 2 games up.
So we could make it.
We would need 2 more losses to have been eliminated. So anyway, so here we go. DeJong comes up, hits the ball to left field. Juan Soto feels it, and what happens to him?
He slips on his foot. He misplaces his foot
as he's going to throw it.
He steps on the side of his foot,
which then causes him to slip. And then when he gets up, he fires the ball in.
He does not get up. Remember?
Does he fire from the ground?
He fires it while he's on his back, and he does that.
Okay, but it misses the cutoff.
Yes, it misses the cutoff and goes all the way to the Nationals dugout.
Right, and Jose Martinez on third paid attention to that, and as he saw it go past the cutoff guy, he starts taking off for home
and scores.
But at the same time that was happening, Yachty's on second, standing, looking down at the base.
Looking down at the base, not paying attention to the game because he thinks the play is over already.
Right. And this is the same guy, Yachty, who got Marcel to run on his missed third strike swing. Remember that? And Marcel was going to walk back to the dugout.
Marcel actually made it.
Because who told him to run?
Yachty.
Who is the captain of the team. Yachty knows everything about everything.
He knows every single corner about baseball. That's no doubt.
So here we go, and watch this.
Into the mitt of Suzuki, and Strasburg wins the battle with Tommy Edman. Strikeout number 10. 10 strikeouts.
Little changer there.
On that changeup.
Ooh. He ticked it, and the catcher hung on to it, Suzuki.
Look at Edman's face.
He's like, oh.
Whoa.
Second time Edman has struck out when he has foul tip one into the middle of the catcher.
All right.
That's the crazy thing. 10 strikeouts all off speed. A guy like him that throws 95, 96.
Now DeJong's up.
98. But his secondary pitches, what's helped him so much.
Got a 231 average postseason, no home runs, 2 RBIs. Here we go.
Out in the left. First pitch. And
there's the slip.
Yep.
From his knees, he throws, misses cutoff. Here goes Martinez, but look at Yachty. He was Look at the guy on first. The guy at first was over here and realized that Yachty wasn't paying attention and couldn't make it to second.
St. Louis plates their first run
So,
on the wild throw in from
pause it,
Soto.
Dad. Now, we were having a conversation before this. It may have not been the game changer, but it would have made a huge difference because Strasburg would have probably
Adding
been
pressure.
taken out. That would have added pressure, so they were like, you know what, let's bring in a reliever.
Because look at the screen now. We've got a runner in scoring position and a runner on first. That's less pressure to a pitcher than having two runners in scoring position.
Exactly.
Right? And look at his pitch count.
That's what I was also talking about. Yeah.
Up here at 109 pitches. He's about done. And he's certainly done if you got runners at second and third with one out.
Yeah, exactly.
They pull him. And it changes the whole dynamic of the game.
Because now
We're eating into their bullpen now.
Yes.
Strasburg was holding us to a good game. Obviously, we have one run in the seventh, by the seventh inning.
Yes.
So this could have been a chance for us to really turn it on, take the momentum in that game, win this game, and come out of it 2-1 in the series.
2-1 in the series.
But again,
Which would have given the Cardinals enough confidence to make it at the very least 2-2 series, and then after that, God knows what would have happened.
now I'm gonna try to pause this.
This year we won 100 or more pitches
Oh, here, let's.
in a game.
And then they bring in Doolittle after Strasburg.
Right.
That's afterwards. So he's about to strike out.
See, look at that, right
Look at
there.
that. He's just looking down,
Martinez will
and then, and for future reference,
6 of them on that changeup.
Okay, I'm gonna try to stop it right on the. Oh. He looked like a sad kid there.
and for future reference, if we ever talk about Yachty getting out by a country mile, that is an inside joke between us and a lot of St. Louisans that love St. Louis Cardinals baseball, because he is very slow.
Very.
And that's why he didn't go, because he knew he wasn't going to make it at that point.
Touch 97, 98.
So first pitch, DeYoung's going to hit it out in the left.
Helped him so much this postseason.
All the young, 2 on, 1 out.
Thunk.
And he turns on the first pitch. Jam shot's going to fall. Base hit.
Juan Soto slips.
He held around third. Now Soto falls down.
I guess he does sort of get out. Misses the cutoff.
Is it already?
Look,
Right here. Look at that. Yachty's standing on the bag,
and he just looked up from the bag.
and he just looked up as the ball was going by Rendon.
Yes.
And then right at this point he realizes, and it gets past the pitcher too, right?
Yes.
See, now Yachty is right at this point he's going, the ball's away.
Yes. And then here's Martinez.
Right. He look at Martinez is in motion, and if I stop this really quick, look here.
That is Paul DeYoung.
That's DeYoung. Look at DeYoung over here on first base. Right here. He's in motion to want to go to second. Look at Yachty. He's just now coming off the bag. And look at where Jose is. And Jose's not a fast runner either.
No.
So if Jose is almost halfway down the baseline, that's where Yachty should have been, roughly,
Right about
between second and third.
where the mouse is.
And then he's going here. And right now, you got Suzuki trying to chase the ball down here over to here.
And then he goes about, what, a fourth of the baseline, and he realizes,
Watch,
I'm not going to
we'll
make
stop.
it.
Watch, this is Yachty right here realizing the ball is passed. Now watch, just a split second later, he's like, I can't make it. See, right
Look at
here,
that.
he
He's
stops. DeYoung is already headed back because he saw that Yachty was hanging out at second. So again, and you got Jose who's ended up able to score. Okay? Also, you have nobody covering third right now. So Yachty could have made it to third. Because here's Rendon. Rendon is right next to the pitcher's mound. Here's Strasburg. Here's Suzuki.
So even
So
if
the only
they
one that
had
might
the
have gotten
ball,
out would have been DeYoung at second, but that's if Kurt had thrown to second. But Kurt would have been looking more over here and over here at the lead runner.
so it would have also been very smart for Yachty, like my dad said. Rendon is right there, and even though nobody's covering third, so we could just go for it.
But look at this. This tells you the difference right here. Look at Yachty in his distance from second, and he's just now starting to go back. Look at DeYoung. He's already headed back, but that's because he had already gotten to here.
And then he realized, okay,
That when
Yachty's
he
not
couldn't
going
make it to second.
Yep.
And again, had they executed that running a little bit better, you're setting up a different tone for the inning.
For the inning, for the game, and possibly for the series.
Yep. So I think that, and maybe it would have been the game changer. Maybe it would have been the moment in the whole series that would have turned the momentum. So that's one thing. Second thing that you wanted to talk about, that you said that you thought the Schilt speech.
Oh, yeah. So, for those of you who saw Randy Rosarena streaming Schilt's speech after the Braves series, that they won 3-2 in the series, his speech contained very vulgar material and or language.
But that was after the Game 5 of the NLCS.
That's what I said.
Oh, you did? Okay,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I missed that.
I said after the Brave series.
Okay.
And he's saying he's going to kick everyone's butt that goes in their path.
And Ricardo is being PG with... He's trying to convey the message in a PG.
I am not quoting him.
Verbatim, exactly.
I'm quoting him in a PG sense, and So, he says anybody's going to cross their path, they're going to get their butts kicked.
Destroyed.
And they're going to get screwed up.
And nobody messes with them.
Nobody messes with them, but look what the Nationals do. They screw with them.
Sweeping them.
Which is...
embarrassingly so.
Yes.
The Cards come out in a breakout historic first inning of Game 5 of the NLCS.
Yes. And they scored 10 runs. 10 runs.
Making history.
In the first inning. And then they go to this series, and they barely can even hit the ball.
They had less hits.
They had less hits than the Nationals had runs scored.
Yeah.
Which... how do you make it to the NLCS with that happening? How do you do it?
How do you fall apart like that?
How do you fall apart like that?
How do your key hitters not hit the ball like they're supposed to?
Sometimes I wonder if, like, some kids like me and or some kids that are in my league could play some of these positions and do some of this base running and outfield and infield and hell, even batting better than some of these Major League Baseball players. And I am also talking about Dexter Fowler.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Dex, to me, was a waste of money. I'm sorry, Dex, I know you had some issues with what you claimed was depression last year, and, you know, that's not fun to battle depression, but I'll tell you what, if I was a Major League Baseball player, I think the last thing that would keep me from going on the field is depression, unless it's something like I lost my mother, or my father, or you, or you know what I'm saying? Like,
or your true love, or...
Right. Then that's the... But just on a day in and day out, you go out, you make your money, going out onto one of the best conditions is a baseball field. You're not going into an office. You're not going into, you're not going into dig ditches. You're going to play a game.
You're going to play a game that's fun, that's been around.
Pastime.
It's America's pastime, and you're getting paid millions of dollars a year. So,
how do you get depressed from that? But then again, I guess money doesn't make you happy. I guess that's the...
No, but it really depends on how you spend it.
Right, and here's the thing. If Dex is feeling that depressed and he feels like he can't pull himself out of the funk and contribute to the team, then he needs to just hang it up.
He just needs to hang it up and get off the field.
Yeah. And
it's as simple as that.
Maybe find another way of either continuing in baseball, whether it be behind-the-scenes stuff or maybe announcing or whatever, but...
And like my dad said... that Dex was a big waste of money, but when he was on the Cubs, he was amazing.
He seemed like more of a hustler on the Cubs.
Yes, he in the outfield, he did phenomenal. He made a lot of catches.
He did make a good catch for the Cardinals this year. Remember, he
robbed that 3-run homer.
Yeah.
But But that's like one good
I
catch
know.
in the whole regular season.
And how often do you and I, when the ball's hit to him and the announcer's like, oh, ball's hit the right field, and we watch Fowler go to catch it, and he always does
It's like we're about to have a heart attack.
Because how does he do it? How does he catch?
He catches it almost like a catcher would catch a ball being pitched.
He puts
to
his
them
glove in front of his chest.
in front of his chest. Not he doesn't go for the can of corn, which is where you reach up. He goes for more of the
which you would think he would have more of a chance of having the ball pop out of his glove, like,
exactly
from that vantage point. So.
But if you do it like this, it'll just pop right into the net.
Exactly. And then the third thing Ricardo and I would like to discuss is the aspect of the game of baseball possibly being rigged. And we have several theories on why we think that the game is rigged. But notably and most importantly, what is the one thing that we know about baseball and where they change something to change the actual game itself? What did they do?
They changed the balls.
Correct. Okay, beginning of the season, Justin Verlander became very publicly outspoken about saying that he felt that the balls were
juiced.
And then juiced would be basically when you open a ball, you have the cork in the center. Now, in some of the pictures that we have seen, as far as like thumbnails on YouTube videos, would be like this one right here. See the thumbnail on this one? It says dead ball back. See how the red around the cork is really close to the cork? And then you got all kinds of yarn around it. Well, the dead ball, that red ring around the cork, is much smaller, and there's hardly any space between the cork and the red ring. But the juiced balls had about 1/8 of an inch of space, or maybe even a little more, between that rubber gasket and the cork, which then would definitely allow for more pop from the ball because you've got space inside the ball that's going to react to that impact. Whereas if it's more solid, the more solid it is, the less reaction you're going to get. So, just the fact that MLB changed the playoff baseballs. Yes. And if you think about it, there haven't been as many home runs being hit.
No.
Which is quite surprising, which with Altuve last night.
Yes.
Smallest guy in baseball.
He's 5'6". And here's a note for you. I'm in 7th grade. I'm 5'5". Going on 6. So I'm...
Yeah, you're in between 5'5" and 5'6".
I'm about... and some of my friends are... One of my friends is taller than Jose Altuve. He is
with your hair, guy. You would be taller.
I would be taller. Yeah. I have very long hair.
It goes up.
It goes way up.
So anyway, right there... And they even said, MLB came out and said, we've changed the balls for playoffs. Why? Why?
Why?
What's the need to do that other than to limit the amount of home runs? Which is then, to me, that is rigging or scripting the game.
Yes.
So,
that is a huge... Yeah.
And thinking back to the Cardinals National Series and even the Braves series, there just weren't a lot of home runs.
No.
And granted, they were playing in colder weather.
Yes.
Which can add to that,
because cold air is thick.
Right. And it's heavier. So it's harder for a ball to travel through.
But hot air or warm air is thinner. So it's easier for a ball to travel through.
Exactly. So in summary, I personally feel that the Cardinals were a team that could have gone all the way.
They didn't want it, though. They really did not want it.
But then that asks the biggest question of all. Is it that they didn't want it, or was it that maybe there were some things behind the scenes that they were told to play less effectively?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people are probably out there bemoaning us right now, going, oh, yeah, a bunch of conspiracy theorists, and, oh, you're crazy, and there's no way that could happen, man, because it's too hard of a game as it is. Yeah, but you know what? The strategy of a baseball game, in and of itself, to me, is indicative of the fact that you can change the script real easy.
Yes.
From pitch to pitch.
And here's one other thing. Why do you think they call it The Show?
Good point, Ricardo. What do you think? You want to tell the people what you think that might mean?
So a show is a program, and what's the definition of a program?
Something
to control you.
Your mind.
Your mind.
Yep.
And I don't know.
And Ricardo and I have talked about this before, and we both think that in the minors, that's real baseball being played.
That's real baseball.
But then there's that shift that happens from going from AAA up to the biggies.
Yes.
Or as you said, Ricardo, what do they call it?
The show.
The show.
And also, I have a couple of other points that make it seem like it's rigged and or scripted. Is the 2004 the 2004 Boston Red Sox series where they're down 3-0 in the series, and then
was it World Series or ALCS?
I think ALCS. So they're down 3-0 in the series, and they win 4 games in a row. That just doesn't happen, and then they go up against the Cardinals, and they win the World Series.
In fact, look at this. Baseball's greatest miracle.
Yep.
The 2004 Red Sox comeback.
And speaking of 4 games won in a row, there was another thing where earlier this season, actually not earlier, it was the very latest of the regular season, where the Cardinals swept the Cubs, our rivals, in Wrigley Field in a 4-game series, a sweep since 1921. That was the last time they had swept the Cubs at Wrigley. So that just doesn't happen. That doesn't just happen. So
yeah,
I don't know.
Well, September 22nd, 2004, Boston Red Sox won the World Series that October. It drove home the improbability of what the Red Sox had done and the magnitude of their accomplishment. What struck me was when Ben said that the Red Sox trailed the New York Yankees 3-0 and then won 8 straight games, sweeping
The St. Louis Cardinals,
our favorite boys, in the World Series. I realized that was the most amazing, unexpected result in baseball history.
8. We apologize about that car.
Yeah.
We have a noisy road.
Welcome to East Tacoma. Anyway,
Anyways, 8 games in a row won. That is absolutely... You know what? Props to the 2004 Red Sox. Props.
Yeah, and it even says a team with a reputation as baseball's biggest losers in big games not only beat the exalted Yankees, they did it after spotting them
A 3-game
game advantage.
Exactly. They were down 3-0. Which, I know I said this already, which just beats our theory, like, into the ground. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. Which makes our theory more likely... Plausible. How do you go from that? You have the biggest advantage, and then you don't take advantage of it. Pun not intended.
Right. Well, look, just like what happened to the Braves in Game 5. Everybody thought the Cardinals were going to get...
Shellac.
Yeah, by the Braves. And then the Cards come out and post a 10-run historic first inning postseason outing.
In the first.
And then we barely scored a run after that.
We barely scored a run. We had trouble
I think we scored 6 runs after that total in the whole NLCS.
We had trouble getting some runners on base.
Yeah. We just looked flat. We looked... And there's even been a... Paul Goldschmidt kind of trips me out. He's a very unemotional player. He's not like Carlos or Yachty, where you can see the happiness, you can see the anger.
You can see the happiness, you can see the anger. Yeah,
he's always just kind of in the middle, and you can never tell if he's happy about something or sad about something.
Sad.
And he always looks sad when he puts his head down. He just kind of had the way his head kind of...
And it bothers us. It really does.
It does. And don't get me wrong. I like that Goldschmidt is not a showboater.
No.
But
at the same time, you got to have some respect for yourself,
And at least be Yeah, I mean, like if you do something well and you just provided advantage to your team, you should be able to be like, yeah, and pump your fist,
And go up to the crowd and be like, yeah,
But Goldie doesn't do that.
No.
He's
I like that, and I don't like it at the
Exactly.
same time. I respect it, but I don't respect it. Because it seems, in a way, unprofessional.
yeah.
It's not professional.
Nope.
It really is not.
So anyway, we just wanted to kind of break things down a little bit and kind of put a finger on the pulse as to where the Cardinals really kind of lost any advantage or probability of advancing on to the World Series.
Yes.
They were a team that could have done it, but unfortunately they relied too much on Goldschmidt, Ozuna, and Edman to provide the offense because all the other bats were just Dexter's not worth his weight in peanuts, much less millions of dollars.
Yes.
You got Bader, who's excellent defensively, but at the plate he struggles.
He struggles a lot.
You've got Jose Martinez, a.k.a. Cafe, and he's great at the plate. In fact, he was one of the few that could just hit.
He did phenomenally
Against the Nats.
and against the Nats. The
But then
only problem was defensively in right field. There was a
For example,
there was a,
this is one
for
example of many.
where
There
it
was a
was
pop-
there was a pop up
infield
into
pop.
right
And it was an infield pop-up.
infield.
It was infield. It was a shallow right, deep second base. Yes, it was. Towards the line.
Oh, okay.
But Wong, Cafe,
Wong and Cafe, they
were
were
converging in on the
converging in on the ball. It looked like Wong was gonna get it, but they dropped out the last second. And
way dropped out too.
Yeah.
Like he pulled back like he was about to get slapped by a belt or something.
Exactly.
And then Cafe is kind of looking like he's looking up at the ball, but he doesn't have his hand out like he might be able to. Because it looked like had he just stuck his hand out, the ball would have fell right in his glove because he got those long arms. When Wong pulled away like he was about to be beaten, he had no chance whatsoever.
Yes.
So, and that was in the last game. That was in game 5? 4. We got swept.
There was no game 5.
So it was game 4, and it was the 7th or 8th inning. Let's see, NLCS game 4, 8th inning. Yeah, I think that was the inning they got 7 runs, right?
Might have been.
You have a business.
Sorry
And
for the
with
ad.
YouTube, you can open your door to half the world's internet.
Okay, I can skip it now. Finally. All right.
Turner. And there's a base hit. Right away, the Nationals put a man on.
Right here. What?
Continues.
Here it is. Here it is.
For Martinez.
Yep.
Right there. Look at that.
Dad, look, that's in right field.
To the air.
That's shallow right.
Right field. Long run out there.
Shallow right,
Martinez,
but
the ball
right
drops
field.
it.
Look at Wong.
Shallow right field. Long run out there. For
He
Right there.
Right there. He's like, yeet.
All right, and look at Goldschmidt.
He's like, oh my gosh.
He's like, which one of you two gonna get it? And he's the most veteran player on the team, Goldschmidt. But he's standing there like, and then you got Jose, who looks like he might be trying to track the ball.
But-
Colton, I think, has an eye on it, but he's worried about freight training into Jose.
Yeah. Look at that.
Look at that. The ball is sitting on Martinez's shoulder, but Martinez got them long arms. I bet you any money if he lunged forward, he probably would have gotten his glove on it.
But he just kept his
Look at
glove
that. They're
down.
both looking at the ball right in between them. And Goldschmidt is still in the same position.
Look at Colton. He's doing the opposite of Michael Jackson leaning forward. He's like leaning back. Like
Almost doing like the Neo from
the
The Matrix.
Martinez.
And
But
then,
I think he falls over after this. Colton.
but look at that. The ball bounces, and it's so close.
Run out there for Martinez. The ball drops between.
He could have gotten it because when the ball bounced, it came up and hit his glove.
Run out there for Martinez. The ball drops.
And then right now it's 2-0,
And the merry-go-round continues.
and they just scored another run as a result of it.
Minnesota scores.
Yep.
And a
There's
There's
Goldie.
the look I'm talking about. Look at him.
in the first
He also got a little physical with the camera.
and a disaster for the Cardinals in the first inning.
Shit looks like he just got out of bed.
Well, you put Martinez in there for offense, and right here, that's his ball all the way. And you can see
Yep.
he's got to come in, call
Oh,
it
it doesn't
off. I
hit the
thought I
glove.
saw him yelling, Wong kept coming, but that's a ball right there that the right fielder takes over all the way.
No, I said it
And
almost
then
hit the
great
glove
read by Soto
when it
to get
bounced.
down the
Oh.
line.
Meaning that if it was that close to where it bounced and it almost hit his glove, look how long his arm is.
Yeah.
It's not even sticking out.
He
It
has.
bounces right next to his foot.
I got it.
And then he
Wong not
stops
trusting
when,
of Martinez.
Yep, and that's what's tough when you have two guys not playing with you.
Well, anyways. Yeah. I think we're gonna.
We're gonna wrap it,
Yeah.
but we just had to get this out, get it off our chest. We've been bothered by it ever since it happened. We've been wanting to get to a sooner and tell you guys about this and kind of break this down, but unfortunately, Ricardo's schedule doesn't allow for that. So, right now we're having to do it when we have our time together. If anything big happens during the World Series between the Stros and the Nats, we'll phone it in and we'll bring it to you that way, break down that way. But anyway, thank you if you stuck with us this long. We appreciate you listening to our opinion on what we felt could have been possibly a momentum changer for the series.
Yeah.
And anyway, at this point, we just look forward to the Expos,
Yeah.
the Nats,
And then the Nats and the Stros.
but we're rooting for the Nats.
We're rooting for the Nats.
Yep.
Yes.
Scherzer,
And August is rooting for the Expos.
yep, our buddy, yep,
Our buddy.
your
August.
buddy from school.
Yeah.
So
He's cool.
He
He's
is.
a cool guy.
good guy. So anyway, thanks. If you enjoyed, like,
Like, subscribe, share, and
comment.
comment. Yeah. And we will see you later.
Later.
Later. Bye-bye.